Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Aussie Rules Show with me, Ollie Gill. A reminder you can stay in touch with us at any point using the hashtag the Aussie Rules Show. With Port Adelaide, 0-5.
The thing is, they've still got enough talent on the park, Ollie, that should be sitting there and competing. And I mean, they conceded near on 50 points against Carlton on the weekend before really getting into gear. They have pride in their performance, but it hasn't been the start that any Port Adelaide fan would wish for.
Newman gets to a good spot, big pack, Martin, great run, and an even better finish. Dudo caught, dispossessed, McNeil, shot down from behind, dunks with a crumb.
Josh Dunkley joins us now on BT Sport ahead of his 100th game against the Bombers on Sunday. Josh, welcome to BT Sport.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
There's a lot of people in the footy world are fascinated by your friendship with Adam Treloar. It's really blossomed since he arrived at the kennel a couple of years ago. Tell us about how it's come together, because the bromance has captured the footy world.
Yeah, it's a funny one. We always, we didn't really know each other. And we've spoken to you before about it, mate. I think, the way that we sort of met was obviously after the trade period and everything that went on. And then we obviously stars aligned and we joined here at the footy club. We caught up straight away and just hit off on the right note straight away.
I love the fierce and competition of footy, and I would be someone who would much prefer to see something like that let go. I mean, yeah, cool, reporting, whatever, but after obviously it all came out about the fact that he's going to be out for 2 weeks, you go, really, was it worth that?
It's now time we shift our attention away from the AFL and towards Aussie rules around Europe. And this week I spoke with Phil Forbes, who is involved with AFL Poland. So we love hearing about these human interest stories from all over the world, and especially, of course, in Europe. So firstly, what brought yourself to Poland?
Yeah, so about 6 years ago, I relocated here for my ex-girlfriend. She's Polish. The relationship didn't last, but me living here did.
The relationship with Aussie Rules in Poland, how's that come about?
I got in contact with 2 or 3 other Aussies here, and we ended up going to a dog park just to have a kick of this weird-shaped ball, and Grandma ended up yelling at us because her dog was chasing our ball.
On the weekend, it was the biggest event in AFL Europe's calendar, and we even got to catch up with some familiar faces. The sun shone on Edinburgh this weekend as the footy community descended for AFL Europe's Euro Cup. 9-a-side teams from across the continent battled it out across 4 pitches in one of the largest Aussie Rules tournaments in the Northern Hemisphere. After the enforced break with COVID, there was a special atmosphere as footy got back underway. For some, it was a case of old rivalries reignited. One of the first matches of the day saw the Scottish Klansmen and the England Dragon Slayers go head-to-head, and the standard of football on display was impressive for spectators and players alike.
Tournament football is hard, stopping and starting, and you only play, just over a game of footy, but it seems like so much more throughout the day.
Friend of the show, Phil from AFL Poland, was here with the Polish men's team. And for their ladies, it was their first chance to make their mark on the continental stage.
We've never played as a team. Back home, some of the girls come from a small town called Nyssa. They have a fairly a big footy community, but they've somehow fallen in love with the game, and how couldn't they? 2 of the girls are from Warsaw, a group come from Silesia. They kind of play with the guys mostly, and we've banded together to play our first ever game as a team.
And despite losing their opening game, the Angels loved every minute of it.
Exhilarating. I can't put it in words. It's bursting out of my skin. I can't contain it. It has been so much fun. We've just gone up against an incredibly difficult team with the, I don't even know what they're called. England, Britain, I don't know. The other white and red team. And they were fierce and it was hard. So yeah, looking forward to possibly some successes in the day.
So a huge congratulations to the Irish Banshees and the England Dragon Slayers, our 2022 Euro Cup champions. And we can guarantee the celebrations will go long into the night here in Scotland.
No, it's been a fantastic event. We started at 5 a.m. this morning. We were all day yesterday setting up. It has been a very windy day, but the weather's held up.
I know we speak for everyone when we thank the AFL Europe for such a great weekend of footy in Scotland. Aisling, Sarah, welcome to the Aussie Rules Show here on BT Sport.
Thanks for having me on. Delighted to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
At this point now, this is coming into my 5th season now, so I actually really feel like this is home. Definitely coming back this time, it was like I'm going back to the family in Collingwood.
Gather the footy inside row, did well, invent some space, now has to invent a kick. Was off the outside of her boot, such clever play, almost a Gaelic style kick.
Probably my belief system needs to change a small bit, but I always feel like every year I come out that you have to prove yourself. I think as a sports person, every time you do come out to train, to play, like every year you have to prove yourself.
Here's the pass inside. This will go long to the hotspot. Malloy does the shepherding. Hotspot not needed. Sheridan's kicked the goal.
So I definitely think, given that it's my 4th season, you know, I think the 1st and 2nd season, you know, you're learning the game, you're adapting, you know, you're trying to figure yourself out position-wise, things like that. And I think now that it's my 4th season, you know, I'm just really excited to get stuck in, especially last year. I felt, you know, I probably could have get more and I didn't. So I'm just excited to now see what I can bring.